Yeah, so custom scans, it's been a video a lot of people have been a lot of people have been requesting just to see how it's done. So obviously it is quite an advanced feature and does
Yeah.
require like a fair amount of like sort of technical knowledge.
Like being
Um
back at school for me, that's like
yeah,
trying to figure out
yeah.
what's happening.
So yeah, I'll just say up front, like if anyone sort of stumbles across this video and thinks that if they can't do custom scans, there's a lot of other ways to source using Arbisource. So don't
Yeah.
worry if anyone thinks that they
This is
can't.
just an addition, isn't it? It's like obviously you've got all your scans there, so this is like a speciality now, really, for us. You're thinking, well, what's my next step?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so it basically custom scans are there to allow you to scan almost any online retailer and use sort of Arbisource to find matching products and calculate profit, etc. I say almost any store because there are some stores which do require specific coding, and so you, I can't guarantee that every single site will work, but I've found an example that I'll go through today.
Perfect.
Um, so custom scan. So to get a custom scan, yeah, click the custom scan button and add custom scan. And then you get all these fields come up, and this is how you tell Arbisource where to look for the product data on the retailer site. Um, so we use these things called xpaths, which is if you know HTML, then it's basically just a way to tell the software exactly where to look on that web page, which part of the HTML to look at to get this data out. So I'll go through all of these one by one and show you sort of a real example. Um, but to start, I would suggest downloading this Chrome extension, XPath Helper, because this lets you sort of check that your XPaths are correct before you go and put them into Arbisource and make sure it's pulling up the correct data. So yeah, definitely download this Chrome extension. Um, so the example store I've found, I decided to choose one that's not on Arbisource yet. So if anyone does want to follow this video, then they kind of get like a free store that's not yet on.
Nobody else is following.
Exactly. So yeah, so I've looked at
I
Office
think
Stationery.
also to mention, Callum, like if somebody does that, you've not got access to it, and nobody else has access to it. Correct?
That's right, exactly. Yeah, so I can never guarantee that I'll not. I don't look at any people's stores to decide what I'm going to add next. That's purely based on what people vote on. But I can never guarantee that it won't be added in the future. But yeah, you could have it completely to yourself for forever if I
Yeah,
never end up
yeah.
adding it. So yeah, I've not. This isn't on the list to add currently that people haven't voted for it yet. So even if you have this one, you're going to have it for sort of for yourself and anyone else that watches this video, and not shared among everyone. Um, okay, so to get started, nice and simple to start off with. Put in the the name of the store. Hopefully everyone can do that. So what was that? Also the office, yeah, office stationery. Um, and if you want, you can upload a store logo so you can sort of identify that. If you don't upload that, it just comes up with a default custom scan image, so you don't need to do that. Okay, so the first and most important one to get is the product card XPath. So go over to your site and you can see all these products are all in their own individual sort of card elements. So if you just right click anywhere on it and go to inspect, it'll bring up the HTML down here for this page. So as you can see, as I highlight over each of these, you can see all the things are kind of starting to highlight on the page. So what I want to do is use the cursor till you get to the point where it's highlighted the whole image like this, or the whole product, sorry. So
All right, just the whole product, right?
exactly, yeah. So if I minimize this, you can see now if I hover over each of these, it starts skipping between all the different product cards.
Yeah.
So that means that this element here is the one that the product it sort of references an individual product. So we need to now use the XPath helper to tell Arbisource how to find this product. So you can click on the XPath helper extension here. So the way to identify this, you can see that these are all LI elements, which is a list item, and they all come under this UL element, an unordered list, and it has a class of picture list. So you're just looking for some unique things to identify these elements to tell the software how to look for this. So to get this, you want to do a double forward slash, which just says look at all of the elements on the page, and then UL. So this is now, there's 16 UL elements in this whole page. So it tells us up here to make sure we're doing the right thing. There's
Right.
16 of these. I just want to look at this specific one here. So what I'll do is I want to say, okay, just get the UL element, which contains in the class picture list. I'll go over this in a second. Okay, so you can see it's now selected one element, and it's just selected this.
That element that we highlighted earlier.
Exactly. Yeah. So just to go over this, so we've selected the UL element here, and the class attribute, which is this one here. We've said we want only to select the ones where the class attribute contains the words picture list. Okay, so we've selected that one, and then we just want to select all of these list elements below it. So because this is just one level down, so UL, and then one level down is LI, we just do one single forward slash and then LI, and that will just select all of these elements here. If I wanted to select, say, this P tag, I would need to do a double forward slash to look deeper into that sort of like into that structure. So I
So
wouldn't
what
be
would
able
that, the double forward slash, sorry, why would I want to be doing that?
Yeah, so that's just if you wanted to get anything that's deeper than just this LI element. So if you wanted to get the A tag, which you can see is kind of nested within the LI
Yeah.
tag, or you want to get the P, you need to do a double forward slash to say look at everything that's underneath this UL element rather than just looking at the one level down. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, cool.
You say that, I'm going to be watching this video over and over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Pressing
Well,
at
I
you
thought
is
I thought that's
like,
the way to do it, because you'll ask questions which everyone's going to
yeah.
have. So yeah, definitely stop me if anything doesn't make sense. Okay, so we've got the UL element, and we've now selected all of the list elements off of that, and we can see there's a total of 76 on this page. Sorry, 78 on this page, and they're all selected. So that's it. That's the product card. So I'll copy this whole path over and put it into the product card xpath page box. The next one is the name xpath. So again, I'll go back over here, and all you do is highlight over the name, right click and inspect again, and that will jump you to where the name of this product is. So you can see here actually this name is so long that it cuts off and it just has 3 dots, and actually the full name is here in this part here. So we would now need to tell, use the xpath again to say, let's get whatever's included in here. So we're currently at the list item element, and we just want to get the A tag that's below that. So again, I'm just going to do
One
single
slash.
forward slash. Yep, exactly, because it's just one level below it. And then we're still only selected 7 to 8, which is good. So we know that there's not multiple A elements in each one. So there's 7 to 8, and we just want to get the title attribute off of that. So any attributes, you just use the at tag to get. So you just do forward slash at title, and then that's all of the titles of all the products on the page.
Right.
So yeah, so we've selected the A tag, and then we've said take the title attribute off of that.
How come he's got 2 dash? You know, he's got LI, I'm going down once, but then you've got A and then a dash again.
Yeah, so just to extract anything or to take anything off of the HTML element,
you need the dash and the at button, right?
Exactly. Yeah. The only exception to the at is if you wanted to just get text which was inside it. So instead of being on the element, if I wanted to get this text in here, I would do forward slash text and then two brackets like that. That's the only difference. So in this case, yeah, we want to get the title attribute. So when we're putting the name path in, we don't need this whole thing because we've already told the software, okay, this is the product card. We just need to tell it what the title part is. So we just need to copy the part after that. So A in title. So I'll put that in there. The next one, URL xpath. So we're actually already on this element. So we're already on the A tag where the product URL is. So that's the product URL here. and it's in this href attribute, whereas we're just looking at the title. So we can really easily get this just by, instead of doing
at and then a href.
Exactly. Yep. So just change at title to at href, and then there we go. We've got all of the product URLs. So again, I will copy this over and just put that in here. URL prefix. So we can see here that actually it's not a real URL. It starts with /product/ the product name. This wouldn't work. We need to actually have, you can see if when I highlight over this, it says officestationery.co.uk/product/ and so on. So we need to have that extra bit at the front, which in most cases tends to just be the website URL, the normal website URL. So if I just copy that and put that in here, we don't want the // on the end that is added here, because if we
We've
look
already
at
got one before, haven't we?
exactly, yeah. So that's it. So that's now the URL. So that will go in the front of anything that picks up here, and we'll create like a proper URL. Okay, and the next one is the image XPath. So we again right click on the image and click inspect, and it jumps us to it. So here is the URL for the image that we'd need to download. So we'll want to select the image tag, with img tag, where the class is list image. So again, I'll delete this bit and just go back to where we've selected the product card. And because this, you can see this image is more than one level, it's like is nested quite far in, we need to do the double / and then do img to select this image.
Right.
And that's again selected 7 to 8, which is the same number of products we had, so we know it's just selected this one. And again, to get the image off of that, or the URL off of that, we'll just do @source. And again, we can
that picks
see,
the whole URL.
yep, again, it's yeah, exactly. And this time it's got the full URL, so we don't need to add any prefix to it. So I'll just copy that part again and put it into the XPath here. Don't need the prefix. And then now it's the price XPath. So I will right click again on the price and inspect. This is just the same thing for every attribute, find it on the page, right click and inspect.
Then build it basically, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And then that jumps you to it here. You technically can just right click and inspect once and then find it in here, but it jumps you to it automatically if you right click on it.
If you highlight it.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got two here. We've got price including VAT and price excluding VAT. So you're always looking for the price including VAT, because even if you are VAT registered, then Arbisource will calculate it for you. So yeah, we're just looking for this price including VAT. So to get this, we are looking for a span tag where the class is price include VAT.
So again, you're going to have the double things on you again.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah, so I would only not be able to have that
if it's one underneath it.
Exactly, yeah. So if that was like right next to the A tag on the same level, it would be fine. So I could select, let's close that down. I could select this element with one /. But yeah, because we're then going an extra one down, we actually need a double /. So do the double /, span.
And then
You can see currently it's selected 351, so that's too many.
We want 78 some below.
Exactly. Yep. So we'll need to be specific and say just get the ones where the class is price including VAT. So if it's only got, if you're going to give it the whole class name, you don't need to do this contains. You can just immediately go @class equals price include VAT. And then that'll highlight this element. You can do contains as well. If you just want to stick with contains, it's fine to just do that. But if you're given the whole class name, then you don't need to bother. So this time we need to get it's not an attribute that we're getting, it's the text within this. So that's where we'll do /text and then the 2 round brackets, and you can see it's now selected all of the prices.
78 results too.
So I'll copy that and put it into here. Category EAN XPath. So some stores give you the barcodes or the UPC, EN, whatever on the category page. So if that is an option, then you can get that here. I've had a look and I know it's actually on the product page for this store, so we can't get it in the category. So that's optional. We'll leave that one alone. Category pages. So this is all of the pages on the store that you want it to scan. Or large stores, could be quite a long process because you need to go in and find all of the URLs for all of the category pages. So I'll just do one example just now, but it's just like when you're doing the custom links. If
Oh,
there's
right. So, like, say for example, you've got Marvel, Pokemon, whatever it is on the top. You've got to find every single one of them, right?
That's right, exactly. Yeah. So right now I've just got some stores are good, and let me check if I go paper products. Yeah, so that you actually then need to dive into like subcategories, and you need to make sure that you get yeah until you get to a page like this. So you would need to copy that here rather than copying the top level paper products one. So you can imagine this part can take a bit of time. You need to go through and get all of these links.
So all of those elements need to be copied, like, so click on it and go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Then
So
otherwise you're not scanning the whole store, are you, basically?
that's right. Yeah, and so the thing is like some stores you might go on and go, you know, I'm never going to be interested in selling couches, so I'm not going to bother putting in the category link for couches. So you can kind of pick and choose which ones you want it to do. But yeah, just like the custom links, you want to find. Okay, so this store's a bit different actually because it seems like
It's not got a
Pokemon
number, has it?
not got the number. So that's where this store might actually require some more specific sort of logic. So I don't know if there's a way that we can get all of the products, but we can come back to that. I'll just show you the example just now.
Yeah.
So yeah, say that we did have a page number, just like custom links. It's just again replace the page number with the two curly brackets, and then put in your starting page, whatever you want the end page to be, or you can leave it blank. And if the page increments more than by one, so say you had like start product equals 40, and then each new page, maybe that then goes up to equals 80, and then it goes up to 120. That's where you would use the increment amount and say, okay, each page actually that value is increased by 40.
Right.
So yeah, it's just some stores do that. Most of them are just sort of single
Page
page.
numbers.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'll just use that one example now. So the next thing we need is the product page price XPath. So you can see all these are now optional. Technically, you can just run it as it is. This is to let you be able to like refresh a product on from the product page. So if you don't care about doing that, if you never want to refresh a product, you don't need to bother adding this in. As
What do you
well,
mean with refreshing? Sorry, Callum.
that's fine. So if I copy this, let me just go here a second. If I go into the vault, there's the refresh icon in the bottom left, which goes away and checks the Amazon price and the store price if the data is looking old. So you can just do that for individual products. So we check the product page for that rather than the category page, which is why if you want to be able to do that, you need to tell Arbisource where to look
Right.
on the product page for the price. So let me just open this just now. If I just open any example here, let me just open the first one. It's the same thing. Right click, inspect, and you can see that actually it looks like this is a very similar element that we had before. So we've got the span and the price including that. So quite often I'll just go over and copy the price path and put it in and see if it works because it sometimes is the same thing. Okay, so you can see it has picked it up, but it's also picked up a lot more elements. So we need to be a bit more specific on this one to say, just look at this. So if I just kind of go up to try and find something that's like reasonably unique. So maybe this div element, which includes item prop equal to offers. So I will in front of this, I'll get all of the div elements, but then just do the ones where item prop equals offers. Okay, and then we go. We're now
And
down.
can I ask, how did you know that was different in that link? You know, that div item prop, how was that for you different? How did that seem different to you?
Basically, anything that's got any like attributes like this. So we could have went with class grey box, but grey box feels kind of, they might have that in quite a few different elements because it's just a color sort of thing. You could maybe have also just looked at price. Again, that feels kind of general, quite general, whereas offers, it takes a bit of getting used to. So
No,
we
no,
might,
I just
yeah,
thought, like, because for you, you just went straight into it, and I'm like, oh, right.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. So it is tough, and you'll probably do it wrong quite a few times before you actually kind of get the hang of it. But you're trying to look for something that seems like it might be the most sort of unique, or like the most unique words to make that part stand out. So yeah, if say this had been product price box, I might have chosen that because okay, that's quite specific, saying that is the product price box, but just price in general is maybe too sort of general to look at. So yeah, so I've selected the div where the item prop is offers, and then kept that price part that we had in before, and it's now got down to 1, which is just £7.10, which is the right price. So I'll copy that whole thing over and put that into the product page price XPath. And then stock checking, again, this is just if you want to refresh the page and get the stock checked. So we'll look on the page. So here we can see we have this thing in here that says in stock. So again, right click and inspect. Comes down to here. So there's a couple different options that you can go with. This one seems like it's maybe quite clear. So there's a link where the item prop is availability, and included in the href we have in stock.
So basically tells you if it's in stock or not,
Yeah,
quite easily.
exactly. So what I would also probably do is go back here and try and see if I can find a product which is out of stock and see if that is still the same. So I think this store, yeah, here we go. So we've got some that are out of stock here. So if I go into this one here, and right click the same element, then yeah, you can see here that same thing says availability, but now says out of stock. So I will just select this element. So again, /link, and you can see there's currently 7 links on. So we want to just get the link where the item prop element, or attribute, sorry, equals availability. And we will take the href tag or attribute from that. So again, now we've got out of stock. This case, it's fine to have 2 because they are the same. If this had some in stock ones as well, then I'd be a bit unsure about that, and I'd need to try and get it more specific. But this looks fine, so I'll take this over, put that into the XPath. You don't need this whole thing; you just need some part of it which kind of stands out as saying it's out of stock. So yeah, I'll just take that part here and put that in there, and then let's just, to make sure we've got the right spelling, I'll just go back and take one that's in stock and put the same XPath in, and yeah, there you go. You can
It
see
says install, yeah.
yeah, so we can just do that same thing. Okay, so that's all the stock parts. Last part is the product page barcode, or EAN. So there's quite a few different ways that retailers, or a few different things that retailers call this in their code. So it can be called like a GTIN, UPC, EAN, barcode. Occasionally, some sites will have it as their SKU, but most often that's something more unique just to that site. So I always start with GTIN because it feels to be the most common one. So this does have
So like in theory, could I have inspected? So say for example, I was doing a website that said clearly the EAN. Could I have inspected the EAN just there, and then
yes.
that would take me to that path?
Exactly. So so some stores do actually just have it listed on their like in their
Yeah,
description. Oh, there you go. Actually, yeah. So it might even be this one says it doesn't have it here, but let me go back and uh, find one that maybe does. Um, yeah, you're right. It's actually on this product page, so we could just right click inspect,
and I'll take it.
and it'll take you here. Um, so if I look, we can get this element, but actually on this site, I think.
No, yeah, just I'm just checking. Just
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no, it's a good, yeah, no, it's a good point. I think this is actually super easy to get this site because it is just, it's all within this one meta tag
Line.
here. You can definitely get this. It's just a little bit more complicated because you would need to, um, check that the sort of siblings text includes this and it's maybe a bit more
I mean,
advanced.
we saw the other one. They didn't actually have the text. They didn't actually have the EAN and the
Yeah,
UPC.
exactly.
Even though it was written in the code, it wasn't
Yeah,
there.
that's right. Yeah. So loads of sites which have it within the HTML, but you can't see it. So it's always worth, even if you don't think it's there, going in here and just doing Control F to find and look for GTIN, UPC, barcodes, just
In the
and
EAN,
EN. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Because you'll be surprised how many times it does appear. So yeah, just to select this element, so I'm going to get the meta tag. So again, / meta, and I'm going to get the one where the item prop is GTIN13 or GTIN. Um, item prop equals GTIN13. Okay, so we've got two elements. So I'll do, um, we'll want to get the content attribute. So
Right, so two elements are content in class, but you want the content.
yep.
Right.
Uh, and the good thing, okay, it's the same again. If these were different, I'd be I'd say that this isn't a good enough path, and we need to be more specific. But they're the same one, so that's completely fine just to use that. So I'll copy this over, put it in here, and then I always just save it straight away, and then go back to edit it. Um, so you can click the test button. It'll take about it can take 20 to 30 seconds because what it's going to do is it's going to go away to two category pages as well as one of the product pages and check that the things that you've given um, match what you think it should. So, okay, that's actually reasonably quick. So it's went away and it said it's looked at the first page and it's found 7 to 8 products. In this case, it says it's looked at the second page, but it's just actually went to this same page twice because we've not got a page number, and it found 7 to 8 products on there. It's confirmed that the category page and product page prices matched, which is good because you know you've got the paths correct for both of those. It says out of stock messages didn't match. That doesn't necessarily mean that you've got it wrong. It just might mean it's not found an out of stock product to check that on. So you can see it what has actually found is in stock. So I'm reasonably happy that that would be right if it was actually out of stock. And you can see that it has correctly matched the in stock messages. Um, so looking here, you can see it selected this very long name correctly. It's got the price at £7.10. It's got a valid link. It's checked the product image, and it's pulled the barcode. Um, it hasn't on this one. Maybe that's one of the ones that we've seen where it didn't actually include
Yeah.
the EAN. So that's all looking good. So we've saved it. So all you would then need to do is click select, load it into your custom scans, and then click start scan. And just like any other scan, it'll go away, start scraping the pages, and look for any profitable results.
It does save it, doesn't it, Callum? Yeah.
It does, yes, exactly, yeah. So you can always go back, yeah, you can go back into this and change it. So even say you get a bit bored of trying to find all the category links and you only put 3 in, you can save it and do the 3 and then come back later on and just click
Yeah.
edit and it'll all be there. Yeah, that would be that would be painful if you had to do that every time. So yeah, it's all saved there. So hopefully that's
That
given
is
people.
doable, mate. That is actually doable.
It is, yeah, it's definitely gonna take some time, but
Yeah, but it is doable
again,
for sure.
yeah, and it'll pay off because then you can use basically the power of the software without having to share leads with anyone else. Um, so yeah, I would definitely say give it a go. If you think it's too tough, then There's people I think that do expats on Fiverr as well, so you could always reach out to one
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, just to make sure like you don't want to get your Facebook messages like, by the way, guys, this is like, how do I do this double hashtag, or it is like
That's
you're
right.
not
Yeah,
after that. Like, this is not what Arbisource you're selling Arbisource for. This is Arbisource is like your sourcing software. This is just an extra addition for people.
that's yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah, unfortunately I wouldn't have the time to help everyone with sort of basically set up their own custom scans. So definitely just do this if you feel sort of like reasonably comfortable with it.
Be
And
like me at school. Is like, sir, have you got 5 minutes to mark this? And then you guys like, no, like I've got so many classes. Like,
yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, I would just say give it a go. You might get people might get halfway through it and then think, okay, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't do this, which is fine. Like I say, there's hundreds of other ways you can find products. But I would definitely say give it a go because it could definitely pay dividends
and
if you.
and as you said, like I imagine, like for me, this looks like a different language. But if someone on Fiverr that knows what they're doing,
Yeah,
it might take him half an hour. It might take him an hour. But just think, you've got one store just for yourself.
yep, yeah, I know exactly, and you could have that for like years. You know,
Yeah,
I
until
might never.
somebody else actually finds it. Yeah.
Yep. And that's the thing, yeah. Even if you do this store, which obviously I've shown everyone, not everyone is going to end up adding it, so you're still going to be like reducing the number of people that are looking at that store. So you could go. It's actually found. It seems to be going through the pages correctly then, so it's found 1,169. Currently no matching product. So obviously, if it's a new store, the matching process does take longer. So custom scans will be run longer than store scans because it's spending the time to check the images, check the titles, try and
Yeah.
find the matching product. So it will be slower. But yeah, there's no limit on custom scans either. So add as many as you want. Um, and yeah, if there's obviously if people want me to do another one, then we can do that at some point as
Oh
well.
yeah, like I mean, I enjoy them, to be honest, mate. Like
Yeah,
it's just nice to actually see what you can actually do. It's mad. It's mad,
yeah,
really. No, it's mad. And obviously we've still got the offer running. Not for long, really. Like, we've not got a date in mind, like completely, but like it's not going to be running for too long. The offer for 33% off for life,
yeah,
and like obviously you keep adding stuff over and over again constantly. And obviously you've said before to us, you are planning a few big things to do, which is
yep.
brilliant. So it's brilliant time to actually join. And I mean, we're just going up and up. And like in regards to what you're actually seeing, I've seen your Facebook group. A lot more people are actually positive messages. So it's absolutely amazing to see it from like what a couple of months ago to this is just quite mad.
I know. Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's been going well, and everyone seems to be doing pretty well off it. And so yeah, like you say, to get in at the price that it is just now with the discount code, you'd struggle to find something at that price, really. You know.
No, exactly.
And
It's just insane. It's just it's your all in one, isn't it? It's your all in one,
yep,
and above.
yep,
Like other people will actually charge you just to do a wholesale scanner. Let's say, for example, you've got it there for free. You're not saying to us, oh, by the way, you can only scan six wholesalers this month. It's all there. Like, it's amazing. So it's absolutely brilliant, and I'll put the offer also. But that's it. And just to say the commitment, guys, this is 9:30 on Wednesday night. We're
yep,
doing this on a
yeah.
Thursday, actually. So on a Thursday night, and we're doing this. So there's commitment there, heavy hours, but like it's this, it's a great software, and it's a good time to join. I mean, obviously Q4 is just around the corner. You keep adding stores constantly. Because you're not just, you keep adding and adding and adding. So I think it's absolutely amazing. And I'll stop there before I blow too much air.
Yeah, no, thanks very much for doing this again, and yeah, for staying on until half
No
past
worries,
nine.
mate. It's always a pleasure having you on. Always a
Yeah.
pleasure.